I think we are live. Hello and welcome to my studio. My name is Ido Agassi and this is my first live on YouTube. And I have a project today of making slipcases and I wanted to share with you the process of making them. I'll move to the overhead camera and maybe I'll open so you can see me down in the corner. I already cut the boards into size, so I'm going to start by lining the inside. I'll start by just making one set, so I need two of those, one long one and two short ones. Let's see, the chat is working. Yes, Marvin is here. Great. So I want to see how it works, everything, and how I can see the chat and work also. So welcome everybody, and let's dip the glue and start working. So I'll move here and I'll open this. And usually when I'm starting to make a slipcase, I'm lining the inside before covering the outside. So I'll start with that. I'll just bring my paper. Tell me if you hear me okay, if the sound is okay. I see the levels are fine. And let's start working. I'll bring the glue into frame. Yeah. So always when I work with glue, I work from the inside out, just covering the whole board. This slipcase is going to be for 2 volumes of a book, and it is quite heavy. That is why I decided to make the box with 3mm board, which is quite thick, but it would hold better for the very heavy books that are going to go inside. I don't have the books here, so I can show you them, but I took measurements before starting the project. I marked the grain direction, flip it over, take my bone folder and connect. Where's my knife? And I'm just trimming all around. And while I'm working on the other one, I'll put it inside the press. Great. This is the grain direction. I'll do the other one. Check the chat. Great. That's what I see, that you hear properly and you hear the work. That's what's important for me, that you can hear the glue brush and all the process. Actually, I didn't announce about this live stream because I'm still figuring out everything and learning. So I said the first one would be just spontaneous, just to go live and work. and learn together. I'm just trimming all around because afterwards I want to put the perpendiculars and connect them so no paper will make everything not straight and not connected exactly to the point I need. I'll move to this one so you can see better. And now I'm going to work on the perpendiculars. I'll do it like this. So I'm actually covering everything. So when you look inside the box, especially if this is a very wide box, is it wide or thick box, you can see the inside. Sometimes when you have a very thin one, you can't see the inside, just you see there's paper, but now you can see everything, all the joints. So this is one. Am I lucky? Do I have it? It's too short by 2 millimeters. I'll go over here. Yes, of course. The glue I'm using, this is PVA, white glue. The brand I'm using now, it's called 55. It is a local manufacturer of glue. But the importance is when I'm looking for a PVA to work with, I want the pH of the glue to be natural, so there's no acid inside the glue. So in years to come, there won't be a problem with whatever is inside. And also, I want it, when it's dry, to be completely transparent. I think that's most of the PVAs are actually transparent when they are dry. But it depends on where you're located in the world. There's a good glue in England. You can find it at Hewitt's. There's one at Thales. I actually made a video about the fear of glue, and over there I ask recommendations from people around the world what kind of glue they are using. And there are a couple of tips, and people are recommending the glue that they are using from various places around the world. So you can check the comments there and see what people recommend. Put this aside. Now I'll change to the small brush. And I'm going to connect the box. Make sure it is cut exactly. Yes. I'll bring my long weight. These are brass weights. Open to this one. These are brass weights. I use them all the time. I have various sizes. So this is 3 millimeter. This is 2.5, not millimeters, centimeters. I'll give a straight line here. And they help me just align everything and giving a 30-degree angle, a 90-degree angle to everything while I'm connecting. So I'll start from the back. Just gluing the bottom side. Making sure there's focus. Yeah, it looks okay. I like to take off the glue and then connect. Have a small one here, just making sure this is straight. And connecting. Let me wait for it to dry for a second. I look at the chat. I like to flip over the weights so they won't be glued to the bottom side. I'll flip it over. Now, put this here, take one here and another one. Yeah, it's okay. Gluing the bottom side. And just a bit of the short side here, because this is going to connect here. Use my weights. Looks okay. Put this here. Put another one just to see it is straight here, 90 degrees. I'll hold it. Good morning. Nice. It's nice to do some crocheting in the morning. Maybe we can change. You'll make a slipcase and I'll do some crochet. I love crocheting and knitting in general. I'll work on the other side. I see that I need to bring my sandpaper from the other room. I'll do it in a second or in a minute. Again, just the bottom side and the short side here to connect to the back. Buenos días, ¿cómo estás? ¿A dónde eres? I need some more weights here. Help me hold it straight. You see that it moved? Needs more time. If you just joined me, I'm working on, let's move to this one. Good morning. I'm working on an edition of boxes, slipcase box. This is going to be for 2 volumes of books, and the books are very heavy. That is why I decided to use a 3mm board. And I'm starting with constructing the box, but before I started with just gluing or lining the inside of the boards with paper. The reason it is very important, the reason I'm doing that is because every material has a pull of its own. If I would cover the slipcase from the outside without lining the inside, then it would warp a bit, because after gluing, when the material would be dry, it would pull all the bookbinding board towards where it was glued. So this is to compensate the other side, or to even the pull of both sides. That is why you need to line the inside of the box before covering it. Now, from my experience, I'm moving the weights just to the entrance of the box, otherwise it is a problem to take them out. And if I made everything correctly, which I hope I did, now I'll move to this one. Now what I'm doing is bringing the other piece of board. I'll check everything is okay. Always check before. It looks fine. Okay, so now I'm going to glue only the edge here all around. How is the focus here? I'll work on the focus here. Sorry if it's shaking now, but I want to make sure you see properly. I have a little bit of dirt here. Not dirt, just dry glue. So this is my first live stream. Just jumping and starting to swim. The reason there was no video last week is because I went on a vacation with my family. It was great. And now I'm starting a new challenge for myself. I'll make sure there's not too much glue here. I have a sock here that all the glue I'm connecting to this. I'm supposed to have a towel also, but can't find it now. This would give me the straight line. I just need 2 of them, making sure grain direction, and I'll bring it to its place. I'm feeling that everything is straight on the back, on the front. And now I'll put this on, and I'll bring this one, and I'll put some weights on it. No, that's it. And now I can reach the inside. Let me put this one and this one. And now we'll wait for a second or for a minute, and I'll see the chat for a second. What's going on here? Cordoba. Nice. Hello from Germany. Guten Tag, guten Morgen. And hello from Ireland. I'll talk about the weights very soon. Okay, what I'm going to do for a second, and just I forgot my sanding paper, so I'm going to bring it from the other room, and I'll be back in a second. Let me wait for it to dry. So this is just a block of wood. This is very thin or very fine sanding paper, and I just changed the one that I have on it. I think this is about 120 grit, or maybe 240, because I'm using it for a while. Now let's see what I'll do, because I don't want it to be very loud in your ears. So many weights. So what I'm going to do, I'm in -9, and I'm going to take it down to -12, and let me sand it a bit. I'll do like this. I'll open this. You can see both. The reason I'm sanding is just to take off, and so everything would be even. The front side. Great. See, everything is okay. I'll move the sound back to -9. Hey, hello from Japan, Pakistan, Netherlands. Wow. Just that you know, this is so special for me to see people or to read from people all around the world. While I was sanding, it lifted the box a bit, So I'm going to give it a little more time here. It happens, and you just put some more glue and just connect it. I'll hold it for a couple of seconds, and maybe I'll talk about the weights. So the weights I'm using all the time, these are brass weights. They come in a bar of around 6 meters long. This is the edge of it, the rounded edge. And I just go to a local metal supplier and just, first of all, look for offcuts. Sometimes they have a project and they have a small, just offcuts laying around, and you buy it as the weight of the brass. The brass is not so cheap, but I'm using it for years and years, and you can clean it afterwards, and it doesn't, if you put magnet on it, it doesn't work, okay? The kind of the metal is not connected to magnets, which is great. So I mainly use these sizes. This is 2 centimeter. I have 2.5 and 3 centimeter. I have some that are 4 on 1 centimeter. And I just use the variety of weights to work with. I have from my letterpress equipment very small brasses that they used when they made a table for printing, you know, or when you need just spacing between paragraphs or a very thick line, then they used brass. So I have some from my letterpress equipment. And what I suggest you do, I tried to figure out maybe to just ask the manufacturer to make some, but because these are weights and I need to ship it, as you can see, all over the world, it's, I think, maybe the best solution for now is just to find a local supplier and just see if they have leftovers and just, or cut it into size if it's 25 centimeters or 20 centimeters, which I use the most. So if I need to choose, I would go for the 2x2, 20 centimeter long. That's the one I use the most. But for boxes, it's nice that you have bigger and smaller. And I think this is dry enough. I'll move on to covering with cloth. This beautiful color. What I'm going to do is on the front side, I'm going to use 2 centimeter. And then I know it's 2 centimeter. And I'll take my medium size ruler. And I'll make sure I'm in the middle. This is 7.5, and this is 8, so I can move it a bit more. And I'll take one weight for the back side. Can you see it? Maybe I'll bring it, I see the frame now. I'll move it like this. And one for this side. And now my weights are acting as stoppers, so I can locate everything on it. Before I start gluing, I'll check the chat. San Francisco, Nikki, you're supposed to sleep now, no? It's the middle of the night. Poland, India. Nice. New Zealand, wow. Amazing. This is a jar of water. I'll be honest, before the live, I just took a new one, a fancy new, let me show you from the front side, a fancy new jar. So it would be easier to take in and out. So this is a jar of water. It looks like glue now, but it's water with glue, and the PVA is over here. And I'll start connecting the cloth. So again, I'm going from the inside out. Put it like this. Making sure everything is covered. It's not a lot of glue, but just an even amount. And as you can see, I have 2 things, maybe 3. I'm taking them out and then bringing it to the weights and connecting. I'll move the weights aside. Hands are clean, flipping it over and connecting. Now, some cutting. What I'm going to do is cut with the ruler. Can you see? Okay, let me make sure that you have the focus. Okay. I'm cutting the inner line of the board and plus the thickness of board here. And I'm going to do it on the other side. 1 and 1 with board thickness. And now the first side I'm covering, I'm going to cut this entirely, but I'm going to cut another cut 2 centimeters from the edge. This ruler is 2 centimeters. So just cutting it like this. I like to give it a bit of an angle here, very small angle. And let's do the other side entirely and 2 centimeters here. And I'll give it a bit of an angle. Now this is going like this and this is going over here. So I'm starting from the sides. Can you see? Yeah, you can see. Usually I work on the edge of the table, but it is just at the edge of the frame. Great. Now I'll cut the leftover here and cut here. Nice. Make sure it is glued properly. Let's do the other side. If you are joining me right now, good morning or good night. We are truly from all over the world now here. I'm making an edition of slipcases for a client. 2 volumes are going to go inside this box. These are quite heavy books, and that is why I decided a 3mm board to connect. Okay, I'm going to lift it and cut. Cutting the edge here. And the edge here, like this. I'll change brushes. I'm going to work with a small brush. How would I do it? Let's do it like this, in the air. Do the other side. Trying to improvise the angles so it would be in the frame. Now I'm checking it fits okay, and I'm going to glue this side. I'm going to glue, let me show you because it's not in frame. I'm going to glue just the edge here and the edge here. And connect. So now I just need to trim this, and I'm going to work on the front side. But for the front side, I have a surprise for you. I'm going to take just a second. What I'm going to do is add another camera angle. I'll show you. It's my phone connected to the monitor because I want to show you what I'm working on here and to zoom in. So I'll start from here. I'm going to glue this small flap here. And now I'm going to take this flap and push it inside, and with the bone folder just connect it inside. Let's do the other side here. Let me see how I manage holding it like this. It works okay if you work with 2 hands. And you go inside. Now I'll connect this short side. So I'll glue it like this up until the end, and connect. Maybe like this, more light. And I'll show you this one here. Take some waste paper. Glue it a bit. And close it. So actually the flap is just covering the joint here and the joint here. Now what I have left to do is work on the front side. Glue the front. And just connect. One side is finished. Let me see for a second what's going on here. Welcome to everyone that joined the live stream. Take this out of frame. So if you just joined, I'm making an edition of slipcases, and this is going to be 2 volumes inside, and because the books are very heavy, I'm using 3mm board. We lined the inside with paper, we covered one side, and I'm moving on to covering the other side. Again, I'm going to use my 2cm weight to give me a straight line here, and more or less 7.5 on both sides. I'll move the camera back here and you can see me peeking at the corner. Looks okay. I'll take one big weight here and one here, and that would act as a stopper. It's so easy to just glue everything and bring it to the weights. So I'll change brushes. Maybe I'll dip it in water before. I have my air condition on here, and that is why the air is drying the brush a bit. But by the way, you can just dip the brush, bring actually the water with glue, and just take off. And then what I can do is just take the small brush, mix it a bit to make sure it is an even layer, and then start working. Hello from Korea. This is my first live ever, and you are the first time here, so it is new to both of us. So I'm really excited. I see I can work while doing the live stream, but I still have to learn how to check the chat while working. So if I miss your question or something, I'm sorry about that. I'm just speaking from time to time. Okay, so everything is covered with glue. This is just an even amount. I'm going to lift it and bring it to the weights. Great. Making sure it didn't move too great. Flip over. Now some cutting to do. I'll move to this one so you can see. How is the light? Nice. What I told you earlier, I'm going and cutting the inner line of the board. So this is one. And after the line, about the thickness of board. You do the other one, change hands. It's a bit dark, but maybe you can see. This is one, and this is two. I'll move back to this one and show you that. I'm cutting here all the way, and here all the way. What's holding it here? On just one thread here. Nice. And this is two. If it happened twice, that means I need to change my blade. If you don't know how to change a blade, I'm going to show you. What you do is you take off the back side, take out the blade, break it, and connect again. And now I have a new blade. Great. Now, because this is going to cover up until the end, what I'm going to do is cut it completely. So what I'm going to do is hold my ruler, do it like this. Hold the ruler, I'll put a weight so it won't move, and I'm going to I'm giving the knife a bit of an angle and just running with this angle up until the end. I'll do it here. Give it an angle and run. But I must say this comes with experience because you can move the ruler. So at the beginning, what you should do is just mark with the needle 2 marks, and then take it down, put the ruler and cut. Okay? But I'm used to doing such a thing, so I can just make the angle with my knife. And again, always I'm making sure that when I'm lifting it, it's not peeking up over the edge. Now I'll take some waste paper. This is 2 pieces. Take one, and I'm going to paste it or glue it or PVA it. So actually each slipcase has 2 layers on the sides, and that helps make the box very strong and hold. That is the reason for this design. You have a double layer of cloth. By the way, the cloth I'm using here is a cloth from Van Eyck from the Netherlands. As I see, there's a lot of people here from the Netherlands. So there's a cloth manufacturer called Van Eyck Textiles, and the cloth is from there. But there are many cloth manufacturers all over the world. Usually it depends on the color that you want and the texture of the cloth. In my Japanese binding, for instance, in the Japanese binding class I have on Skillshare, you can see a cloth from Korea that I bought when I visited there. Very beautiful silk cloth. And they are from Germany. And you can find it on Amazon also, various kinds of cloth. Lift it. Third side, I checked, it's okay, yeah. I see there's a lot going on in the chat. I'll try to read it after finishing this. And what I forgot to do is bring myself a glass of water. So maybe I'll go drink a cup and keep on working. Great. Now we are moving to this side. Make sure we have focus here. Nice. Now I'm just gluing the flap here, and let's glue the flap here. Clean my hand, and now I'm just pulling, and I want to cover the corner. I'll do it on the other side. See what I forgot? Forgot to trim this. Take my knife, freestyle. And now I'm going to fold it inside. I give it a bit of an angle here at the corner, and then it connects nicely to the inside. And here I'll cut it before. So I'll do it like this. You can see properly. Now there's no focus. Maybe I'll move to this one up. what I do is I take my knife and cut with board thickness, so not up until the end, and then give it a nice cut like this, and great. Gluing all the way. We are almost done with this stage. Then I'll read the chat for a bit. I'll drink some water and I'll keep on to another box. I didn't say, but the edition is 15 boxes. Don't worry, I'm not going to do everything now, but I'm going to keep on making them. And voila, we have a slipcase. Looks great. Needs a bit of time to dry. You see, I'm working on the edges to make sure everything is neat and clean. And as I said earlier, you can see the inside, and that is why everything needs to be lined nicely. I'll put this aside for a second. And now let me read the chat for a bit. Thank you for all the compliments. Switzerland. Hello Adam, I really enjoy your video. Thank you so much for all your warm and kind comments. What I'm going to do, I'm going to drink some water and come back in 1 minute. I think it would take 1 minute. I want to check something. Let me see if this works. So I'm back in a second. Okay, so I'm back. Hope it didn't take too long. And let me bring some more paper and keep on working. So what I'm going to do is work on another slipcase. I have two for the sides. I need one long side. Yeah, it works nice. So I'm going, first of all, if you just join me, I'm working on an edition of slipcases, and I'm starting with lining the inside. The reason I'm lining the inside is because we need to even the pull of the material between the inside and outside. If I'll just cover the outside without working on the inside or covering the inside, you'll see a bit of warp, or the material like makes a shape of curving. Don't know if that's the word, but you need to even the pull between the inside and out. You see I have the mark for the grain direction, and I'm going to connect it here. Flip over. And I'm going to trim it. I can feel that I changed blades or cut the blade. Now it cuts very easily. I'm cutting up until the edge. And I'm going to put it inside the press. I'll show you the press. Do the other side. First of all, I'll show you. I'm putting it inside water because I have air condition on and it's drying my brush. I see that it is smooth enough. And now it can work. Always glue from the inside out. I keep repeating myself, but it's so important because if I'll work like this, I'll have glue on the edge and then it would drip on my work, and then my work will have character. But this is really a nice rule for a clean work. Oop, everything is covered. Can add some here. Save this for later. I'm trimming all around. And this kind of a box, it is 6 centimeter. And you can see the inside, so I need to make sure that everything is covered nicely. So when you see the inside of the box, everything will look good. I'll add it to the press. And work on the perpendiculars. I'm taking a glance at the chat. Good night to San Francisco and California in general. After the live is finished, I think it's automatically going to be on the channel in the live stream section, so you can watch it. And because I have a very big edition of boxes, I think I'll do also a live stream for the people of the Americas, because it's the middle of the night for them. But as I see, if I have people from New Zealand and the Philippines and from India, Korea, and so many more places, I can actually do a live stream every day and every hour of the day. It's amazing, truly. I really appreciate you being here. It amazes me. And the last perpendicular. These look okay. Clean my hands and take out the first board. I'll leave it like this. I'm going to bring my long weight and put one over here for a straight line. You can see that it's not a straight line because I need to trim this. It's not trimmed up until the end. Now it would work, yes. I'll change to the small brush. Make sure you have focus on my hands. Nice. I see there's papers on the floor. I'm going to close here. welcome. I see from Colorado, wow. Looking at the chat. Where are you situated? I'm from Ra'anana, Israel. That's where I'm making my live stream, and my studio is located in a very, you might call it a small town, about half an hour from Tel Aviv. I'll bring my small weight here. So my time zone, now it's 12:20. I'll flip it over and give it a couple of seconds. And I'll check the chat. Oh, so 11:20, so 1 hour before. I guess that's also from Lancashire. Lancashire. Good question. How did I get into bookbinding and printing in general? That's a great timing for this question because I need to wait for a bit. So actually my father and I have a publishing house called Even Choshen, and we opened around 94, 95, so 30 years ago. And my father is a collector of books and of art, and he decided he wanted to open a private press and to make books that he would love buying for himself and for his collection. And we didn't know much about bookbinding, about printing, about letterpress and so on. He just decided he's going to start, and he invited me to join him. He's the publisher. He decided who to print, and the collaboration between the artist, the visual artist, and the poet or the authors of the books. So he decided that, and I took the more of the design and the technical part of binding the books. And so at the beginning we didn't have any knowledge of what we are going to do, but just what seems to be nice and beautiful about the format, about the typefaces, about the printing techniques, and to accompany the books with etchings or with woodcuts. And I just started without any previous knowledge. I was 17 years old when I started, and we just started printing books. And I think the first opening to the world and to see what's going out there, we decided to join the Frankfurter Buchmesse. It is a huge book fair in Frankfurt. It's like a city of books. And there I discovered I'm not alone in the world. There are more printers and more bookbinders, because I was quite alone here. It is, to be a bookbinder is quite a very It's a work for someone that, how would I say it? Someone that can work with himself and with his thoughts. But I discovered I'm not alone and became friends with people all over the world. That is how I was invited to participate in an exhibition in Korea. I've been there 3 times since. That's how I met Peter Koch from California, from San Francisco, and attended the first Codex book fair and symposium. And so actually it started as just opening our publishing house, our private press, and then I took it one step further to creating my art in the form of a book. So that's a bit of the story of how I got into bookbinding. I'll move so you can see also the work and see me in the corner. So that's actually how I started bookbinding. And I picked up some things from friends. A very good friend of mine called Yehuda Miklaf, or Seamus McLafferty, or Brother Brian, has many names, Yehuda. And some trial and error and some reading from books and just trying different techniques. But the importance is to work and to try and to create books. So I'm actually self-taught, autodidact, and now I teach. I teach students, art students that come to visit my workshop. I teach online on Skillshare. I have several classes about bookbinding. And I show the whole process here. And I think that's the most important thing, to just show this beautiful art. And by that, on YouTube, I truly feel that that's how it's keeping it alive. Because if somebody just, watching shorts or watching YouTube videos and just looking at the work and telling himself, wow, this is something I want to try out. I made that's the most important thing, to keep this beautiful art alive. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm doing it week after week. I want to be very clear. I'm enjoying myself very much, filming myself, all the challenges of finding camera angles and how to edit everything. It's truly, truly amazing, and I enjoy myself very much, but it's a lot of work. So, for instance, I took, after 9 months of each week a new video, I went on a vacation with my family for the past couple of days. That was nice. And I decided for the new year, the Jewish New Year, that I'm going to start live streaming. And you are just witnessing the first live stream ever. I'll move to this one up. Yes. You see, I'm taking all the glue that is just pointing out of the place they need to be. It's not dripping, but just more than where I want it to be. Making sure everything is straight. Taking out a bit the weights, otherwise they are stuck inside if I forget it. Making sure that the grain direction is okay and just putting it in its place. Making sure everything is straight here. I feel it can go back a bit. This is okay. And this is okay. And when I feel everything is straight, then I'll put this on and bring this. And I'll give it a minute. Wow. Good morning, Brazil. 6:30. You're up early. I see I need a little bit more time. So if you have any more questions, that's a great time to ask something. Thank you, Diego. Maybe I can walk with the chat for a bit. So what I have here, I have all the setup. Maybe I'll show you when we are live streaming. So I have my setup here and the chat and the tools and everything. And now I'm just checking what's going on. Great. I think this is enough. I'll move to sand it a bit. Feels okay. Now I'm going to sand, so I'm going to take down the microphone so you won't have a lot of noise in your ear. Other side. You see, it's taking off all and making everything the same layer. Nothing pointing out. I'll work on this. And the other side. Make sure everything is clean. Take up the microphone again. Good questions. For your first question, I have experience with non-leather material, but it is a bit tricky because from my experience, when you use, I don't know how it's called, like fake leather or something like that, after a couple of years, there are some materials that have problems. They become sticky or they become like microplastic, and it's not a very good experience with the fake leather or whatever it is called. But there are alternatives like book ram or like library style book cloth that you can wash and clean. And usually I work on, especially on big projects, with just recycled leather, because we don't need a big piece of leather for if I'm making a sketchbook or something. There are times that when I'm making a fine binding, then I'm buying a good piece of leather from Harmerton or from Wights from London or from England, from Scotland. But if I would choose to work on a book, it would be cloth or alternative, but a fake leather, I don't have a good experience with that, because again, after a couple of years, it could be a bit more problematic, and we want our books to last. I'll move on to covering the box. I want 2 centimeters from the edge, so I'm putting my 2 centimeter weight, and I want to measure. This is supposed to be 7.5 more or less, and this side, yeah, that's nice. I'll put this here and put this here, and that would act as a stopper. I'll move my other weights aside, and I want to make sure that the brush didn't dry with the air condition here, so I'm going to dip it inside water, take it out to my glue, my PVA, and work on that for a bit. I'll look at the chat. Oh, that's nice. You're working on, I think I saw your binding, the watercolor sketchbook that you made in my hardcover binding class. And working with alternatives for leather. I'll try and look for something that could be a good solution. I think after the live stream I can write in the comments. So I'll try to look for something alternative for leather. Okay, I'll do that. And worst case, I'll open a discussion on Skillshare on the class, and I'll write there. So in the meantime, what I'm doing is I'm gluing the outside of the box, again from the inside out. If you are here from the beginning of the live, I think this is the 4th time I'm saying from the inside out, but this is a very important rule. Move this aside. And locate it in place. and flip it over. Flipping it over. Let me show you what I'm doing now. I'm going to cut with my knife on the inside line here and outside here. Move on to this one. Long ruler. I took the long ruler here and one cut here. And now moving on to cutting here alongside, but leaving 2 centimeters here and give it a bit of an angle. Same here. All the way, and a 2 centimeter line. I'm gluing one side. To the edge of the table, so I'll show you like this. I like to work on the edge of the table because I have a nice maneuver to the edge here. And I'm going to cut the front side, again the line of the inside, and with a bit of an angle here, and cut this one here, making sure it is glued properly. Moving on to the second side. If you just joined the live stream, I'm making an addition of boxes, slipcases. There are going to be 2 books inside and they are going to be very heavy. And that is why I decided to use 3mm board to hold the books. We already lined the inside with paper. And now I'm covering the outside. Now I'm going to work on these 2 sides. Maybe I'll try this one for the first time. I'll lift it a bit so you can see it, and I can glue it more easily. So I'm connecting a 2 centimeter to cover the corner. I'll do it here also. I need to make 15 altogether, 15 boxes. I'm in number 4 now. But don't worry, I'm not going to do all of them in this live stream. I'll do it a bit differently now. Glue the entire cloth. Take the waste paper out. And connect. See that you have a focus here. Nice. Now I'm going to do the small flaps. So I'm going to glue this one and this one. I'm taking the flap, pulling it down and just covering it. And same thing here. Pulling it down. I'm glad you're enjoying the different methods, and there's so many ways to achieve the same result, and sometimes I even try different things to see if it's more efficient, or just to try different things. For instance, I found myself when I'm filming myself working that I need to try different camera angles just for you to see better. The waste paper is exactly the same. I'll put another one so I have some more extra. Nice. But this slipcase technique is actually covering the sides 2 times. Each side is covering also the sides, so you have 2 layers, and that holds the box much more strongly. So if it is, and that's the case here, it is very heavy books that would hold nicely inside. Now what I remembered is this is the last piece of cloth I have, so I'm going to bring some more cloth to cut. I don't think I ever showed it in one of my videos, so let's see how it goes. So you will hear my squeaking door, and I'm going to bring my long ruler and my cloth. 1 second. So let's see how we are going to do this, because as you can see, this is 135 centimeters and this is 110, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'll take my pencil, open the cloth. So this is actually bookbinding cloth. And what's special about bookbinding cloth, I'll show you like this. What's special about the bookbinding cloth that it has paper backing on the other side, so the paper is glued on the other side of the cloth, and that is why when you put some glue on it, it doesn't go through the cloth. I'll open it. I'll give you a wide shot here. I'm going to open it and measure 48 centimeters. So a bit more. Yeah, this is 48. And this is 48 here. I'll put a weight so it won't move. And now I'll cut it in 2 goes. Let's do this. And now what I think I would do is just move it like this. In my table outside I have 3-meter table, but I want to do it on camera. Yep. So now what I'm going to do is roll it. Sorry about the sound. I line it up. That's what's nice about the cutting mat. You can line it up like this, put it here, 2 points, and cut it. And now I'm going to mark 40 and 40. And cut it here. So I'm going to do the other side. I think it went well, right? First time cutting on camera. 7.5, 7.5. I'll put my stoppers. So this is 1, and this is 2. I'll bring my glue. After the glue is inside the water, the brush is inside the water, I'm making sure there's not too much water. Usually what I do is I take the small brush and mix it a bit so there's no water on the upper side. It feels okay. And now I can go on, flip it over. And from the inside out. Oh, great for the feedback. The sound was okay. You see there's a hair or something from the brush. Make sure my hands are clean. Flipping, there's another. Flipping it over and bringing it to my stoppers. The Wights has so many things I'm using them for. This is very satisfying to do. I love this part. Now some cutting. Let me show you. I'm going to cut here, inside, on the inside line. So the cut here and what cut after the board thickness. I'm going to do that also here, the inner line and the outer line here. And now I'm going to cut over here and over here, up until the end. Again, one, and I'll show you from the upper side, and two. Now, if I'm going to glue it, it is more than what I need. So what I'm going to do is put my ruler, take it down, put a piece of weight, and then I'm holding my knife with a bit of an angle and then cutting. Then, when I'm folding it, it reaches just 1 millimeter less than the edge of the box. It comes with experience. At the beginning, I used to mark it and then cut. Okay, take this back. Waste paper. I'm going to glue the sides first. Thank you, I love my weights also. I talked about the weights earlier. These are brass weights. I just ordered them from a local metal supplier. They come in bars of around 6 meters, and you just ask them to cut it into the size you want. And sometimes they even have just offcuts on the floor that you just buy it as the price of the weight of the weight, the weight of the weight. I really recommend investing in one because it's not cheap. As you can see now, I can show you a nice trick. You see here, something happened and it's not glued enough. If it's a big piece, I can just insert my glue brush. But if it's not, moving to this, I'm taking a small spatula and I'm going to put on it, let me show you both. I'm going to put on it some glue Then I'm going to insert the glue here, just making sure it holds some glue. I'm doing that just to make sure I'm not damaging or have glue on the upper side. And now everything would be glued nicely. I must tell you that every mistake, everything that happens when you improvise and try different things to solve the problem, that is such a great thing. I love it. I love mistakes, really. So if you are watching and saying to yourself, oh, he's a professional and so on, just try it out yourself. Make mistakes and you will learn from them so much, truly. And you will find different solutions to different problems. It is important to make mistakes and to change the camera angle. That's important also. Take the waste paper out. I'll show you the trick again, because I don't know why. Maybe again the air condition is drying it more rapidly than what I'm used to. Now it's okay. So we learned another trick. Another side. Now I'll make sure there's enough glue. It's this movement at the edge here. Now, I need to trim this. And the other side. Change hands. Lift it, change the focus. And I'm going to cover, just glue the flaps and then cover the inner corner. And just taking and pushing it down on one side and pushing it down on the other side. And all I have left to do is work on this front side. Focus is okay. I'll put some glue on the edge here. Go to this camera. And I finish how many? I have 11 more to go. But I think for now, I'll finish the live stream. Thank you so much for being here and for joining me. I really appreciate your support. And remember, this is the first ever live stream, so you are a part of it. I think this video is going to be on my channel when I finish my live stream, because it's the first time, I don't know, but it's supposed to be with the comments also. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.